Hi, this is Tom Bacharach from RMC Group, and we're here for another installment of the understanding of the capabilities that RMC and its holistic planning can bring to you as an advisor or as a business owner. And as is sometimes the case, today I've invited one of my esteemed colleagues, Todd Trzaskos, who is the president of PlanGen. And PlanGen is one of the companies that is housed under RMC Group. And it's an industry leader in software capabilities for pension plans, defined contributions, defined benefits, cash balance plans, and its illustration capabilities. But the reality is there's just so much more to what we can offer through PlanGen. And so what I've asked Todd to do, and Todd, if you wouldn't mind, please help our viewer to understand why this software platform, this software company that was created specifically for this group, has grown into something so much more in today's marketplace.
Hey, thanks for asking, Tom. And as a software guy, every software manufacturer or builder usually thinks that theirs is the greatest thing since sliced bread. And so, you can pop my bubble at any point if you want to. But the point is, we've actually built something pretty cool here. And retirement planning isn't necessarily the sexiest topic in the world, but it's something that is a necessity and is becoming more and more front of mind for not only business owners in terms of this hiring environment, realizing that, actually employee benefits are really important. And for advisors, realizing that bringing assets under management via retirement plans is actually a really good piece of business that they may not be, active in. And so we're providing a platform more than just a piece of software to kind of facilitate the business. And we started out specifically in the area of plan design to make life easier for the people who provide the illustrations to business owners. You're somebody that, does this on the regular, where, you're talking to a business owner, they say, yes, I think I need a plan. What's it going to look like? And you say, hey, I need your information. I need to know what your employees look like, dates of birth, how long they've been working for you, things like that. And I got to take it back to the office and they'll come up with something. And for a long time, even to this day, there are other systems that are used to do plan designs, but they're usually plan administration systems, which are great for the year-to-year stuff. And they do produce a proposal, but it's something that a back office administrator likes to look at. It's not something that's necessarily attractive or even legible to a business owner. Or even an advisor who needs to explain what's on the page. And so that was our reason for being, back in the day of when we started 20 years ago, was in the defined benefit space, specifically in fully insured plans. But over the years, we've developed defined benefit plan, cash balance plans, and a whole suite of defined contribution plans to the point where we can do compliance testing on them, and we can even combine cash balance plans and defined contribution plans.
Well, it's Todd. It's interesting that you bring that up, because one of the things that I've seen, not only with the advisor as the user, but also as the business owner, the end customer, what they have gotten from other administrators or other illustrations look very much almost at times like they've just put together an Excel spreadsheet that has been made pretty. One of the things that I like as a frontline salesperson is the fact that not only is the PlanGen illustration a proposal that is really a presentation piece, but it takes all that much needed compliance information, puts it in a package that is prettier. And for guys like me, there's graphs and charts if you need them to make it easy to understand. Can you talk a little bit about why that came into being? And before I give it back to you, it's interesting you say that, because I was just reading an article that post-pandemic, defined benefits are becoming more of an offering because of the hiring market right now. It is an attraction method that we haven't seen in probably half a generation.
Exactly.
So
yeah, so it'd be interesting to see how this all wraps back around again, because the market's been pushing more towards the 401k world, and we're actually expanding the number of 401ks. That's going to happen. But as you said, we need better incentives for high quality employees, and defined benefit plan can be that thing. And so your point about the pretty illustrations is, yes, in a lot of cases, the things that people see on the street are really not attractive. And it's something that a human being had to go and take stuff out of a plan administration system, move it into Excel, add that Excel data to a Word document, bring in some images, put it together, turn it into a PDF and send it out. And that can take hours in some cases, because you have to do the compliance as well. What we do is we templatize that process, and we design the business intelligence into the software so that we can do the compliant design, pull it into a preset template that we can design for organizations so that not everybody's stuff looks like everybody else's stuff. I mean, we have boilerplate things that we do share, but
so can you actually put somebody's logo on that so it's branded for them?
Yep, by default we're set up for white labeling. All of our processes have a templatized or a replaceable header, footer, cover images, and that's something that the user can actually control inside the application. So by different plan type, they can have different images. In fact, we're getting to a point where I don't want to make promises, but shortly there'll be a library of images so that at the point of proposal generation, you would be able to say, oh, you know what, it's October. Let me pull the proposal down with the changing leaves. Or I'm going to a doctor's group. Let me pull down the medical version as opposed to the engineering version. That's the kind of thing, it's kind of subtle, but important wrapping for the information so that it's easier for the target audience to digest and make actionable, choices based on.
So do we have to, because a lot of times what we're working with an advisor, or actually again, the end user, is, do I want to look at a defined benefit plan? Do I want to look at a cash balance plan? Do I want to look at a 401k? Is that separate illustrations, or can we do side-by-side comparisons?
They are separate illustrations, and we can do comparisons. So we have a couple of pre-configured runs where you can press a button and it'll spit out comparison, preset comparison between a cash balance plan and design of cash balance, a fully insured, and a TradDB system. If you've got a high roller, or it'll show you 3 different kinds of defined contribution plans, or you can kind of design plans to fit for somebody and pick the 3 that you want to present to them to put in front of them. We're actually on the cusp of also coming up with a scoring mechanism for this kind of, so that the comparisons cannot be just raw data, but it would be kind of an informed scoring based on preferences of the plan sponsor.
So help me with this, because when I'm working with an advisor, a lot of times the advisor will say, Tom, here's the information, and they will send it to me. But occasionally I will get a group that has multiple advisors within the group, or I have somebody that is highly analytical, and while they don't mind sharing the information with me, they want to be able to control it themselves. Is PlanGen purely for us, or is there a way for the advisor to get involved with that illustration process?
Very much the latter. The system really is designed to be advisor-centric. And so even if an advisor is not somebody who is a design person, there's still an account for them to be able to collect all of their business data coming in, all the different cases, the proposals, so that the back office, like you or somebody at RMC's back office, can run stuff for them, or for that analytic type who really wants to be able to twist the gears, they can log in and do designs themselves. And the system is built to keep the plans compliant. So if you've got something that's not a compliant design, the button to print and or export your design won't light up. So it in a way, for somebody that is curious or interested in the design process, it can be a teaching tool as well.
Wow. Okay. Well, Todd, I appreciate this. Please stay ready, because I may ask you, as we get into the pension season, which typically runs after Labor Day, I may ask you to kind of give us a quick tutorial on what an illustration would look like, so that our users can actually see what this super valuable system in PlanGen can offer, and be able to see something a little bit more, so that they can delve into it and pique their interest a little bit more. Thanks for taking the time today. Is there anything else you'd like to say in closing?
Yeah, I might just point out that we've talked about the design part of the platform, but really the platform is meant to help grease the wheels across the entire retirement planning process, because it's not just about the design and selling somebody on the idea of a plan. We can then take our data and ship it off to the third-party administration system so that they can get their annual tasks set up. We can ship contact data from our digital RFP to CRM systems. We can take, once a plan has been created, and spit out the document for FT William, so that the plan administration document is created and filed. We can also send allocations off to record keepers, so that once you've decided what the plan is like, payroll knows how much to deduct and send in on a bi-weekly basis. So this can help an advisor through the whole course of the planning and onboarding process.
Well, it's, and thank you for sharing that, because that is an incredibly important piece that I think is that separator that PlanGen gives. This isn't an illustration system. It's a plan system that allows for, it's not just upfront, it's the entire administration and plan documentation process for everybody concerned, the administrator and the end user.
Yeah, so we're providing glue between these different players that hasn't, or conduits for communication that haven't really existed.
So, well, thank you very much. Todd, I appreciate your time today, and we'll be back in touch. Thanks.
Take it easy.